Hey, what's up, world? It's your boy G Shrimp, everybody favorite baby daddy, voice of the street, man. And today we in Utah with it, y'all. So hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel, man. We on the road to 25,000 subscribers. Help me get there, y'all. It don't cost you nothing to subscribe. Now, for the people who don't know, NBA YoungBoy is out, y'all. Yes, he is out, and he's back at his house out there in Grave Digger Mountain. So he been home just for a little while, and a lot of the neighbors didn't know he was back. And he got security like he always had. They walking around his house with guns and everything, and that's just how they doing it. But I'm going to let y'all see some of it, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell y'all the secret to why young boy be getting away with a lot of shit he do, besides the fact that he got money. It's another reason y'all need to pay attention to this. Check this out. Alright, now body, y'all. Let me blow it up for you too. Yeah, see, young boy be getting. I'm gonna tell y'all his secret name.
Davis Smith, a well-known rapper, is back in Utah after serving prison time on a federal gun charge.
Yeah, some people can't help but notice NBA YoungBoy in the Olympus Cove area. Brian Leahy knows that firsthand from today.
That's right, Brian Leahy is live there now. So what's changed in the neighborhood?
Well, imagine if a celebrity moved down the street from you, a celebrity who's a rapper with raw lyrics and someone with a criminal past. Well, here at the gate to YoungBoy's property, neighbors have spotted armed security guards dressed in black, wearing ski masks, sometimes carrying long guns. YoungBoy, whose real name is Kentrell Galden, here in a Utah courtroom last year, accused of prescription drug fraud in which he paid a $25,000 fine. He was also sentenced to prison for having a gun as a felon.
There was a guy by the gate, private gate, and he was like a really young guy.
On Monday, Suman Singh says Unified Police surrounded that person. UPD says it was responding to a trespassing call.
There were 4 or 5 police cars.
A lot of people in this neighborhood walk their dogs down the street.
Neighbor Judy Zone brought me beyond the gate where she insists the road is public.
I was stopped by 2 guys with bulletproof vests and security, uniforms all in black. And one of them had an AK strapped to his chest. And
the home owned by Galden is watched by guards.
So it's introduced this level of anxiety.
A hard edge in contrast to Zone's impression of meeting YoungBoy in person. What'd you think of him?
He's actually a very nice young man.
UPD says the guards can carry and their permits for security here are in order. Live in Olympus Cove, Brian Leahy, KUTV 2 News.
So, y'all
Now, check this out, right? Y'all heard what the white lady said? He's actually a nice guy. That right there helps young boy a whole lot. See, when she met him being a well-known rapper, she thought he was going to probably come out. Yeah, what's up, bitch? What you doing? You stay down there, ho. You can't be back my house, you dig? Thought he was going to be ghetto and, and yeah, no, these my guys, right? He this my security, man. So just don't walk by my motherfucking fence. You won't have no problem, bitch. Go on back that way, ho. That's what she was expecting. But when she said to me, hi, how you doing? Yes, ma'am. Oh, no, I'm sorry, this and that. And he's really a nice guy, right? Young boy, he's what you would describe as a gangster and a gentleman. That's a smart type of person. You keep that gangster shit in the street. When you at home and you conduct yourself around these white people and where you don't stay in the ghetto no more. You stay in a nice neighborhood, but you need security because people will come out there and get you. So I understand that part too. But he know how when he's communicating with certain people to be nice and polite. You know what I mean? So when he have cases like these big cases, the media blow them up and they look worse than they are. And then the judge hear things like this too. So when they say, they talk to a police, say, you arrested a young boy? Yeah, how was he? He's actually a nice guy. He wasn't disrespectful or nothing. He cooperated. Oh, okay. You know, this the bailiff, the sheriffs, you know, they telling this, and the judge get an earful of that shit. And then when you got that money, you got a lawyer make a good stand for you. He got a good defense for you. You know, he find the loopholes that you can get out of. You heard what they say. Them prescription drugs, he paid a $25,000 fine for that. That's all. Because he never got the drugs, y'all. He just was writing illegal scripts, which are felonies and illegal, but he never got them. You know, so this basically attempts. And when they offered the fine, he accepted. Yeah, and they like, yeah, okay, they made that case go away. So now he's dealing with just the violation of the probation he had from catching the case. He was already fighting the case from down there in Baton Rouge, and they gave him a little time for it. He went and did that time. Now he back home. Now the thing is how he go act once he stop moving around and all that. Is he gonna get back in the streets, stir up the beef, talk that gangster shit? Because at one point, young boy seemed like he was learning something. But then, when I'm talking about when his wife was in the house and he was just there by himself, he probably had what he needed and everything. But then when his friends start coming over, Lil Dump them and the other little guys start coming over, when he started shooting the videos, and then he turned back into young boy. He was controlled while he was with his wife. But then when they come around, he turns into young boy. And young boy is a goddamn fool. You know what I mean? He's a nut. But he ain't crazy as you think he is. You know what I mean? He got a little sense. Whether he choose to use it or not, it's up to him. You know, and it's up to the situations he in when he use his good sense and his bad sense. Everybody got a good angel and a bad angel. You know what I mean? Everybody. And it's up to you who you listen to. It's like your conscience. Sometimes your conscience can be good, and sometimes they can be bad. See, you can only be nice so long before somebody make you snap on them. You know, because people tend to see your nice side and they take that for weakness. They take your kindness for weakness. And then you have to snap out on somebody, and then they be like, damn, okay. Man, I thought he was sweet. I ain't know he was going to snap like that, yeah. Because people don't know you. You can't judge a book by its cover. And then that's where NBA get his edge at. They've been adjudged him already. And then when they meet him, they like, damn, he ain't nothing like we thought he was going to be. That same little white lady, Judy, they interviewed her again, right? And she said, I talked to Kentrell. He was very nice. He called me ma'am, and I baked him cookies and everything. And she said, I'm sorry, I never heard none of your music. And he said, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. You know what I mean? White. I wouldn't recommend it to no white person because it don't contain to you. It's not going to fit. You know, you wouldn't understand it, my music, because you're not from the ghetto. You know, it's like you giving me an Elvis Presley album and tell me, listen to this. Or Elvis, we might can rock with Frank Sinatra type shit. But say Frank Sinatra, we'd be like, oh, what the hell is this? Elvis, we might can rock, because Elvis got the jailhouse rock. We'll find something, you know, and all the shit Elvis was doing, he got from us anyway, so. But anyway, so, young boy back home, man. Let me go see. But you know what, though? Let me just say this, y'all. Your past go always affect your future. You hear me? I'm going to say it again. Your past go always affect your future. And I said that to say this. It's a lot of shit young boy have done in his past that's gonna still come back. Cause see, don't forget, when you dropping bags on motherfuckers, people know it. If I'm in Chicago and I know 3 or 4 people you done dropped a bag on, you know your city know. Everybody hear about it. It done been on many stations. Y'all, I bet y'all can guess who the people were. You know what I mean? You can guess who the people were. It's the reason him and Fredo Bang don't fucking get along. You know? Allegedly, G Money. Allegedly, Boulevard Quick. You know, it's a few other people. I'm not even finna go into that. You know? So you talking about NBA Youngboy, Top, the 38 baby, all these fucking names he got. It's like elevations of his life, you know, when he was a certain type of way. And people want you to stay the same, though. They want you to stay with that gangster shit. When you start making different type of music, they stray away from you. It's like people don't like positive music, y'all. They only want to hear negative shit. And let me tell y'all something. It ain't by accident that the record companies are letting this poisonous music go out to our youth in society, y'all. They do that to keep us programmed. You listen to enough music about killing and sliding, eventually you go want to do that. You go want to do that because it gets you in the mood. When we get ready to slide or go step, ain't no motherfucker listening to no Diana Ross. They not doing that. They listen to NBA Youngboy, Lil Durk, you know, people that's talking that gangster shit. You know, about really sliding. NBA Youngboy, he go hard with it. But I won't say the worst, but the motherfucker who talk about the most killer is Lil Durk. And Lil Durk them be, listen, the Durk, I hate he went to jail like he did, y'all. But he had become his own worst enemy, y'all, because Lil Durk them, the shit he was talking about, y'all, was really happening. Lil Durk didn't have no caps in his rap. He was just like King Von. King Von didn't have no caps in his rap. All the shit he was talking about, they was doing it. You know, when Von came home and said that, put a pretty op in the mud, called her Drop Dead Gorgeous, you know, he's talking about K.I. You know what I mean? Put a pretty op bitch in the mud, called her Drop Dead Gorgeous. I'm like, when I first heard it, it went over my head, you know, until you start paying attention, you like, damn, that's right. They did say he stepped on old girl. Damn. And then, you know, she wasn't no saint either. She was stepping on shit. She was stepping on shit, you know. And a lot of people want to glorify that when we shouldn't. King Von be glorified and all that, right? But it's a King Von in every fucking neighborhood. A lot of them are a lot worse. You know what I mean? Worse. And to them, they don't feel like they worse. They just the defenders of their neighborhood. They just happen to be the one who get the phone call when shit happen all the time. Every time something happen, hello, man, you know they killed. What? When this happened? 2 days ago. Damn, I was on my girl. Alright, Joe, we on that tonight, man. Alright, click. Ain't nobody else gonna do it. Ain't nobody else gonna step up to be the next shooter until that shooter get knocked off or locked up. Then it's like next man up. Next man up. Next man up. Same with everybody in the neighborhood. When we was out here doing what we was doing, my shorties wasn't moving. They didn't have to do nothing. When we start falling back, okay, once the little puppies got big enough, okay, I could step out the way. I stepped out the way, let them handle the business. Cool. Now that frees me up to do other shit. Especially when you start getting older and you realize gang banging and drug dealing don't mix. And you in that lane, because we really was brainwashed, we thinking we go get rich off selling drugs and life go be perfect. Nah, it ain't. Anytime you got anything illegal going on in your life, it'll last for a little while. But you know them people coming soon. Same way with Lil Durk's situation. The reason Lil Durk in jail now is because he had illegal things going on in his life, and eventually it led him to prison. But it ain't no surprise because Lil Durk knew it, y'all. Go back to some of them interviews he did when the people asked him, "Where you think you gonna be in 10 years?" You know what Lil Durk's response was? In the feds. You know why? Because he knew that. He knew he had them boys out here stepping. He knew it. And they was really stepping on shit, y'all. For real, for real. You know, for real, for real. His case already bad. I don't want to make it no worse. Shit, you know, but let's just say this. They put the work in. And you can go ride through the city and point out blocks. Yeah, I know they did this. Yeah, we know they did that because everybody is connected, y'all. Somehow we connected. If I got a cousin, fuck with a nigga over here, you know. Somebody got a baby by somebody over here. Somebody go to school with this person, work with this person. Then all the people in jail, you know, you find out information and you know exactly what's going on in the street. And you even know when you too close to a situation or if your guys got a hand in it. You can see something on the news and be like, damn, they shot such and such. You only know what you seen on the news. Then you talk to one of your partners and you might say, damn, you heard about they shot the gas station up last night? Yeah, man, somebody snatched some money out of a lady's hand and then they shot up. You be like, I didn't see that shit on the news. He know the whole fucking story. His story is way deeper than the news story. You like, oh, let me stop talking because this motherfucker know the whole story. Why? Because that mean they was involved. When you get too much information on the damn telephone, you need to be like, okay, man, all right, I got to go to school, man. All right, nigga, hang up. School? How old Shrimp is? I think Shrimp in his 50s something. Nigga just told me he gotta go to school. Yeah, I gotta go to school, man. I gotta do my homework. I don't give a fuck what you got to do to get off the phone. Yeah, all right, I gotta do my homework. I gotta go, bro. I gotta go. All right. Because there's too much damn information. You know, some things you don't need to know. You don't need to know everything. You know, because these people be listening, and when shit hit the fan, they start grabbing any motherfucker. And somebody might say, well, Shrimp know the story. I heard him tell such and such the whole story. And it'd be like a conversation. Y'all might have been talking somewhere else. And somebody heard the story through y'all conversation. Because some people, you might talk a little bit too, face to face. I ain't talking about on the phone. You know, y'all might be at a backyard party or somebody partying, y'all discussing something. And nigga might ask you a question. You be like, nah, man, that ain't why that happened. Dude got whacked because woo. And then somebody over here listening. Oh, well, Shrimp said he got whacked because that girl, he beat up that boy's sister. Anyway, man, I just wanted to let y'all know what's going on with NBA Youngboy, man. It's kind of early, man. We dropping early today, man. It's your boy G Shrimp, everybody favorite, every day to the voice of the street. I'm going to plant you now, dig you later. We'll be back, y'all, at 12 o'clock. No, in fact, no. Let's just say 3 o'clock. We'll be back with another one at 3 o'clock.